What's up, everybody? It's Glenn back with Big Jack, back with another episode of the best bets of the NFL weekend videos, Fade Sports Betting Podcast. Me and Jack, we claw all season to get back above 500. Right when we do, bam, we give you guys a 1-in-5 week. There could be some excuses. It was early in the week, Thanksgiving week. We got a lot going on in our lives. We can make all the excuses in the world. Fact of the matter is, we didn't pick winners last week. I went 0-3. To move my record on the season to 18-21. Jack goes 1-2 to keep his record at a respectable 20-18-1. Jack, we gonna bounce back this week or what?
Have to, baby. Have to. Like you said, tough week. Obviously did a little earlier in the week. Came out on the wrong side of some injury news. I don't know if I would have picked at least one of the games I ended up on, but like you said, no excuses, no bitching and moaning. If we broke on the other side of that good or bad news, we wouldn't have been complaining. We'd be running to the window to cash those checks. So full steam ahead into this week. Try to right the ship. Plenty of time left to end up in a real good spot here.
No doubt. We got 5 weeks left, including this one in the regular season. We got to make the most out of these weeks. Let's get back to our winning ways this week. I'll get started with the picks, as I've been doing for quite some time. I'm going to go to an over-under because that was giving me some good lucks, some winners in previous weeks. I'm going to go to an AFC North battle in the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm going to bet the under in that game of 43.0. I just think if Pittsburgh wants any kind of shot in this game, they got to try to keep it low scoring. I think if they get in a shootout, I think they get boat raced. At the same time, Baltimore's offense is not looking that great. I just think it's an AFC North battle. Both teams need this game. I think it's going to be a lower total than that 43 number for sure. I could very easily see a Pittsburgh team put up like a 13 spot to keep this game pretty comfortably under the total 43. That's my first pick of the week.
Love the angle there. I do think, like you said, massive game with some playoff implications for the AFC North. Who would have thought, 6-6, 6-6 would be battling for first place? A lot of people going into the season probably would have made the argument that the AFC North is, right up there with the class as far as divisions go, with the NFC North, and the NFC West has probably proven to be the best division in my opinion this season. AFC North and NFC North were 1A and B heading into the season for sure. It's crazy the way that it's all shook out, but I agree with your point about these offenses. Pittsburgh's offense is not explosive whatsoever. It's a little bit more of a throwback type of offense, the way they sort of matriculate it down the field. They are good when they get in the red zone. They really are. So if they get it down there, they do tend to get sixes instead of threes. But Lamar Jackson just doesn't look healthy. Obviously, he was dealing with some injuries, missing games earlier in the season, and I still think that's impacting the offense. So I could see it being a little bit more of a cagey divisional bout there. So I like that play. And you're the over-under guru, baby. So, just keep it rolling. My first play, I'm going to go to the one that I'm probably least confident in this week of the three that I have on the board. Just get it out there. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at home plus 6.5. It's a little cheaper right now. It's minus 105, only taxing the 5 cents. So I kind of dig that. But plus 6.5 at home. The Falcons have been, a classic Jekyll and Hyde team this year. You have no idea what you're getting week in and week out. Seahawks have been dominant. But Sam Darnold has sneaky showed a decent bit of regression, in my opinion, these past few weeks. He didn't look good against Minnesota. I know they drummed him, but that was all the defense and the lack of Minnesota's ability to do much of anything out there. I think that the Falcons will be able to compete. I think Kirk Cousins gives them a little bit of a chance. I love the way Bijan Robinson's toting the rock. So I think they come out at home. It's a kind of a tighter number than I would expect. So I'm hoping maybe I end up on the not so public side, the sharper side of things here. I'll take the Falcons getting 6.5 at home.
Love that pick, Jack, so much that I'm on it.
Let's go, baby.
I got it at plus 7, but I got Falcons plus 7 is what I'm seeing. Like, to your point, Seahawks look really, really good. They have a game last week where if you just look at the box score, they won 26-0. think it's a blowout, but as you would attest to, they did not look like a far and away better team last week. I think it's just one of those games where they could end up sleepwalking in Atlanta, maybe getting out of there with a win anyway, but I think 7 points is too much here. I like Atlanta Falcons +7. That's my second pick of the week.
Love it. I think it's the second time this year that we're both on the same side. So hopefully we can keep it.
I think it's the third, and I think we're
third,
2-0.
okay. All right, let's keep it rolling. Got to double up the units there. Super max, smack it on the board, and yeah, hopefully it keeps coming in for us. Love that you're on that one too. It's going to be a hell of a watch for us there.
Do you want me to leave you at +6.5, or you want me to give you that 7? Because that's what I'm seeing at 7.
I'll take the 6.5, baby. I ain't scared of those Seahawks. Appreciate you, though. I'm going to go actually back to the well here. There's a ton of trends that favor the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're straight up, their ATS, what they've done at home. Everything for Jacksonville is skewing towards like the Jaguars is the easiest pick of the week against the Colts. I'm going to flip it. I'm taking the Colts -1.5 on the road. Colts burned me last week. Daniel Jones injury news came out after we had made our picks. He certainly looks extremely limited. They were not utilizing his legs in the fashion that I think they were quite a bit earlier on in the season. That offense in general has seemingly hit a little bit of a roadblock here, but I just think it's an undervalued team. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction in the market of what's been going on with the Jaguars and the Colts lately. I think if the Colts aren't coming off a kind of a tough bad look loss to the Texans at home, I feel like they're probably closer to a 3.5, 4-point favorite in this game. And all of a sudden, because of the way things have gone, the market is just, taking too much into account for a little bit of a recency bias, in my opinion. The Indianapolis Colts were still a historically good offense for the first 8-9 weeks of the season. I know it's fallen off to the points that I was just making, but I don't know. I just think it's a bad line, and I'm going to try to capitalize on it. I'm taking the Colts -1.5, big divisional game on the road. I think they get it done to reclaim the lead in that division.
Not a bad pick at all. I don't hate it. I don't hate it whatsoever. I'm not on one side or the other. General question, Jack. You believe in Liam Cohen?
I think if I had to say yes or no at this point, I think you got to say yes. Given the resume, he has turned it around. I do think Trevor Lawrence is still, maybe they paid him like he's going to be the franchise guy. And it's, to be fair, maybe it's going to take a little time. First year in a new system. I know he is a veteran quarterback. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying yes or no one way or another. I don't feel great about the yes, but I think it's hard to say no given where they're at and how they've looked certain weeks.
Yeah, I think you summed that up great. I think Liam Cohen's got something to him, man, but I just don't know if T-Law is that guy. I think we're hoping for a T-Law stinker, Jack, and that'll lead to a Colts victory. I like them -1.5. That's a good pick. My last pick of the week, speaking of recency bias, I might be going off some recency stuff here making this pick, but Joe Burrow comes back last week, and that entire Bengals operation looks so much better. I'm going to go with the Bengals +5.5 at Buffalo. I know Buffalo's tough at home. I know they're good, but that Bengals defense that looked so terrible earlier in the season, it's funny how getting a good quarterback and just a good operation back in general kind of can breathe some life into that defensive side of the ball. I think they win this game outright in Buffalo, or I think it's possible, I should say. I'll be on Cincinnati +5.5. That's my third pick of the week.
I can dig it. Like you said, Buffalo is good at home. I do like the momentum the Bengals have with Burrow coming back and what's going on in that division. Like, they're not completely dead. I think that they know they're going to have to do something special, but I'm sure they got the confidence, man. That's a team that went to the Super Bowl not all too long ago, and the Bills still are pretty beat up. Talk about a team that's been up and down. I don't know. I haven't checked the injury report to see if either of their tackles are going to be back, but they were both out last week. And if they commit to stopping the run, I feel like Buffalo's not that lethal of an offense for whatever reason when you can kind of bottle up James Cook. So don't hate that one at all. See if that Bengals offense can get humming. My third and final pick, going back to the well on the only winner I had last week. It's crazy that this has become one of the teams that for whatever reason I find myself backing consistently this season. I'm going to take the New York Jets +3 at home. I think they win the game outright, honestly. I think it's a Miami team that's coming up to East Rutherford, New Jersey in December. I don't think it's going to be like crazy cold. I think it'll be like, a moderate winter day in the New Jersey area, but Dolphins, season's over for them. I know they've been competing. They've been playing some good football lately. I think it's just a very attractive line. I know I said that about the Falcons, but I don't know, man. I think they roll up here. I don't think they want any business of the cold. I think the Jets are rearing ready to go. I think Tyrod Taylor gives them enough of a shout. Breece Hall does his thing, and that defense shuts Tua down. I take the Jets outright, plus 130. But for the purposes of the picks, I'll take those 3 points.
Ever since Fields goes down, you love the Jets, baby. You love them. I don't hate this pick. I love your thoughts behind it, your reasoning behind it. Will say I need Miami to get one more win for a little midseason future. I posted. I wouldn't hate it if it was this week. Maybe they win by 1, so the Jets still cover. But yeah, I don't hate that pick at all.
Speaking of futures, shout it out, man. You smacked your first one this week. First one came in. Yeah.
I will say at the same time, it does look like a couple of them are potentially dead. They're not dead yet, but it looks like they're dead. The first one that hit though is Cardinals under 8.5 plus money. I forget what the plus number was, but that hit pretty comfortably. Shout out me for that feature. All right, quick recap of our picks this week. I am on Cincinnati plus 5.5, the under 43 in Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, and Atlanta plus 7. Jack is also on Atlanta plus 6.5. He's on Indianapolis minus 1.5 and the New York Jets plus 3. We got to get some winners, Jack. With our bad week last week, we fall just under that 50% number. We got to get that up. We got to get 52, 53. So let's get things moving back in the right direction. Have a good week. If you're at home watching this video, like and subscribe. We come every week with our best bets video, and then we also bring a Bears video. Stay tuned for that. Nobody knows the Bears better than this podcast right here. That's a fact. Jack, any last words?
Oh, man, load up on that Falcons play. Let's keep the combo streak going. And yeah, winners all weekend. Let's bounce back and keep it rolling the rest of the season. Bears.